Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to Vampyr. And in the last episode, we went on an errand for Barrett Lewis to go find his lockbox filled with trinkets from an abandoned warehouse. And we went ahead and searched the abandoned warehouse, found all kinds of skulls and lichen beasts that were fortunately a lot easier to kill than the first one we found in the sewers. But let's go ahead and open this small box and see what exactly is in here. Barrett. There's no easy way to say it, so I'm going to be blunt so we can't keep on like this. At least I can't keep on like this. If Joe ever finds out about us, about his wife and his best friend, it will crush him. And then he will kill you. We had some good times together, but let's face it, I'm never going to be your Jane Lewis. You know it, and I know it too. So, I'm ending this right here and right now. If you agree with my decision, I'm sure we'll find a way to be happy again. You, Joe, and me in time. And then the most important part of our story will have been preserved. Until that day, I wish you'd forgive me. Goodbye for now, Jane Peterson. Ooh.
A love letter from Joe Peterson's wife addressed to Barrett Lewis. Who should I give it to, I wonder?
The plot has thickened. And now we got a moral choice. Outstanding. Honestly, I think we should give it to the husband. That's just my opinion. Where are we here? Okay, we go ahead and turn left. Booksellers and librarians. Too bad we can't go in there. Oh dear.
We even used to be neighbours, for Christ's sake.
I'd prefer not to give you another beating, Barrett.
Yeah. Out of the two, I actually like Joe a little bit more. Believe it or not.
You again? What do you want this time?
Personal questions first. Ooh. Joe will kill him, though. And consequences matter. But maybe we should.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Maybe we should talk to the son first. Oh man, that's going to be interesting. Okay. We'll go talk to some other people first. Hello.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reid.
Dr. Reid, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Well, apparently we are well known here. Before we get to the quest-based stuff.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
It's only logical.
It's a disgrace. People are left to die alone. No one is properly informed of the risks.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
Just means that there's a story he can report on.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
And refers to himself in the third person.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
New hint available.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
Well, there's no masquerade we need to follow.
I'm convinced there is more at work here than a simple epidemic.
Really? To be honest, I could say the same. Some of the sick I saw or heard of. My God, what happened to them?
Personal questions, nothing there.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
Saying confidential to a reporter is not exactly... Well, and also don't... That could ruin Crane's career. This is true.
I'm a doctor, Mr. Darby. I care about everything involving public health and this epidemic.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
Perfect accomplice, really.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nithercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nithercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Really? Well, that could lead to some interesting storyline developments.
Do you need assistance?
That would be nice of you, Doctor. Who knows what I may have caught during my investigation.
Oh, is he actually sick? Treatment for fatigue.
I will see you later. Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
He seems like a nice enough person. Unlike the priest there, who's all about hellfire. And a little shed back here. I guess maybe he is... foreboding. Indeed. Very foreboding. Hello, friend. Ah. Oh, wow, you had buddies. I did not know. Uh-huh. Oh, I tried to shoot him instead of dodging. That was my bad. Alright, now it's just us, my friend. Ah. Uh-oh. There we go. A nice donation. Back up to full. I think this game, the combat system, is more Dark Souls than anything else. That's what they're... I think that's the vibe that they're going for. Cigarette case and bullets. Good. That'll make up for the ones that we just lost. And we've got 1,085 XP. Gonna have to throw that into some of our abilities here before too much longer. clove essence. And we also need to keep looking up just in case there's a balcony or something we can go up. This is a very big church. This is a realistically sized church, which I appreciate. Find Richard in the area. Okay, he's probably right back there in the cemetery. Bottle of alcohol and a screw. And that must be our man. Already touched by the embrace. He must be a White Wolf gamer.
Silent flower of Whitechapel. An angel made flesh, I tell you.
Hi.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
Kind of looks like Willem Dafoe and the guy who played Thanos did the fusion dance. Josh Brolin. There we go.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
Okay.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
He is very poetic.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Peaceful silence? Really?
Peaceful? That's quite an unusual way to speak about the epidemic. And very inappropriate, I must say.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
I wonder why.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear Doctor.
Well, crap. He's got us there.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the arid hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox, the stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
So we got a priest that wants to basically cleanse the city in fire, and then we have Richard here, a poet who thinks that the plague is already doing the purifying.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much, and that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
Oh, yeah, she's the mute woman we haven't chatted to yet.
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
Got to agree with him on that.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
Okay.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
Uh-huh.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu. Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Well, we found out something about Darius. Life in London. He's a printer, eh?
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Ooh, find the mailbox and the letter. Alright, I think we can do that. Let's go ahead and travel the other direction and see if there's anything we missed. I guess this is his camp. Alcohol and pills. Should have known. And who are you who just walked by? Oh, you must be the... That must be the mute girl.
An angel made flesh, I tell you.
Can we... Yes?
Some of us come to this
Aha.
already touched.
And there's a flower. A small flower bouquet with a voucher for a free medical checkup hidden between the flowers. If you are sick, if you have no money, whoever you are, wherever you're from, come see Dorothy to get help. No tricks, no charges, no questions asked. Just find Darius's house and present this cute coupon. Oh! Hi!
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reid. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly.
Well, she's still standing here and she's not running away, so...
I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it?
Then she'll just slap us.
Tell me about Richard Nethercott. I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia.
Have to read her body language.
Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary.
Or just point.
A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. You don't seem to need my medical attention for now.
Fair enough. Good talk.
Very well. Goodbye, then.
And, ooh, that's a vampire hunter on the other side of that. We also need to check and see if our poet friend, if he needs any medical attention.
Some of us.
Good evening, Mr. Nethercott.
And good evening to you too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
Do you need medical attention, sir?
It may be wise to let you prescribe me something, but I don't feel like I should.
Oh, so we have medicine. Guess we'll hand it off.
I understand your appetite for words and macabre beauty, sir. But you should be more careful.
The nutrition of my mind is more important than my physical health, but I appreciate your concern, sir.
The treatment for the cold. Alrighty.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
I know we're going to be making more of that, and thank you for letting me know in the comments that Prince Charming will get out of that house as soon as we save the game. Another checkup. Was this the side entrance to the church? Quarantine. Darius Petrescu's letter. My dearest, most beloved children, I am so sorry you have not heard from me for a few months. The situation in London has been difficult. I know it may sound selfish and silly when you, my children, are still living in a country consumed by war. But there's also a war going on here in England. A war against poverty and against injustice. This is a war I intend to fight despite my advanced years. This is why I'm writing to you today. I won't be coming back to Romania. That probably means I won't see you again before I die. Don't be sad, my darlings. You are grown up now, and you have children of your own. You know the sacrifice we sometimes must accept to make the world a better place. This is one I must make now, to feel useful one more time. I wish you a long and happy life. Kiss my grandchildren for me, and remember that your father loves you all the way from this cold, damp country. I am as ever your loving father, Darius.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
It's all a question of leverage.
Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Yes, indeed. And we also... best funerals. We also need to see about... who do we let know about the wife's indiscretions? Or the wife and husband's. Or the wife and shopkeeper's indiscretions. Husband had nothing to do with it. And hello there. Do we have a... what is up here? Nada? Okay. The fenced area I can't get into yet. Here's our reporter friend. And I don't think I've met... wait a minute.
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling.
Ah.
But I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reid.
All right, then. But be quick. Though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Zing.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed. Or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
So, defensive right off the bat.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
Gotcha. I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen when we do the medical checkup on her.
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start another fight somewhere else.
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
Why this skepticism?
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty? Or anything else you have never suffered from?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
I wonder what she did beforehand. Not that she really cares whether I judge her or not, but...
I always thought I was the master of my own fate. But now I know we don't always have control over our lives. I don't judge you.
You know, this money is not only for me. I have good reasons to need this money quickly. But it is not your concern, Doctor.
That sounds like an investigation. Life in London? Nada? Okay.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crăciunescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
That is fair enough.
Do you need any assistance, Miss Popper?
It depends on the price of your medicine.
Treatment for fatigue. Okay.
I will see you later. Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can.
Well, it's definitely... we have met some very interesting characters. But now, I think it's time that, we go ahead and let someone know
Cheap price, good quality.
about
Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
thieving indiscretions.
You again? What do you want this time?
First off, there's nothing else I can talk to you about. Let's see what happens, guys.
I think the documents in this box could be of some interest to you.
Really? Where'd you get it?
I found it in an abandoned building nearby. I thought you might want to keep these letters.
Let me see. Oh, letters about my boy. Thank you, sir.
You do not appear surprised or pained by this.
Surprised about what? Harry's my son, I'm his father, and that's all there is to know, don't you think?
Yes, I suppose you're right.
Here's a little something for your trouble. And to remind you to keep your mouth shut about all this.
Oh, okay. I see. So he's his father regardless of who actually is his father.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
I like him. He's gruff, but he's pretty good. Until we find his body in an alley somewhere. Oh well. Well, I think that will about do it for today, guys. We were able to get into a little bit of fighting, but good lord, everyone's talking. Let's go ahead and head down this alley where it's a little bit quieter. But we have the way to get into Darius's house, and we will do that at the beginning of the next episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you liked the episode, please leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.